Hey, how you doing? Greetings from the beautiful land of Mexico. So I'm here for a conference and I'm at an Airbnb right here on the ocean, and I have a few hours before I have to move to my next hotel. So I thought, hey, what a better time than to make some videos and answer a few questions that people have been asking lately. If it's kind of echoey in here, I apologize. It's like being in a giant adobe hut. It's all like stucco and concrete, so I apologize, but hopefully you can tell what I'm saying and it's coming in pretty clear. So I've had a couple questions lately. I'm going to answer those. One of them was someone was asking how to address the fear of getting started with marketing. So this person, they've been trying a few different things. I think he said he's a handyman business, and over the last few months, he's gotten to the point where he's got somebody like another handyman doing most of the work, and now he has time to focus on the business and the marketing and scaling it up a little bit. And he's been trying a few different things for marketing. He spent $100 here, $100 there, and he's got some results, but from what he can tell, he's not making enough money back for this to make sense. And so he's asking, how do you get over the fear of spending like $500 or $1,000 a month? And so that's the question I'm going to answer right now. So if you've watched any of my videos, almost every single video I make covers the topic of tracking things. You have to track what's going on. When you invest in marketing, you need to track very closely how much you spend, how many leads you get, how many leads you're able to contact, how many estimates you put out, how many of those estimates get accepted, and how much money you make from those customers. And then beyond that, you want to track how much money you make from those customers over their lifetime. So if a customer tends to come back in 6 months, you need to be tracking that and where that customer came from. And that really is the answer of how to get over the fear. Trust me, I talk to hundreds of contractors every month, and there's usually two reasons, maybe three. There's three reasons why somebody will not move forward on marketing. The first reason is because they've assessed the situation and they don't believe that it's the right option for them at that point in time. That's a very valid reason. The second reason is that they just don't have the money. Some people are in that situation. They want to do it, but they don't have the money. The third reason, and most common one, is they have the money. They believe it's the right thing for them, but they don't believe 100% that it's going to work for them. So they're apprehensive about taking the leap of faith. And this is by far the most common thing. And it makes perfect sense, right? If you haven't done something before, it's like fear of the unknown. And it's difficult to spend $1,000 or even $5,000 on something if you're not sure that you're going to make your money back. And that is often the hump that I try to help people get over. If I believe it is truly for them and they've told me that they do have the funds, but they're just afraid of pulling the trigger, all I can do is show them examples of other companies like them and show it that it worked for them. But until they actually do it themselves, they're always going to feel that fear. And so if you still have that fear and you're already investing in marketing, then you have an attribution problem. You hopefully are getting some kind of results, but you don't know what to attribute those results to because you're not tracking things closely enough. So the secret is to just track everything and track it forever. Like if I bought 10 leads today and 2 of them turned into jobs, I wouldn't just forget about it after it was done. I would keep those people on a list somewhere, whether it's in a CRM or a spreadsheet or a notebook or whatever. And if I'm a good business person, then I would be contacting them every 6 months or every 12 months and seeing if they need anything else. And a year from now, when that customer comes back around and gives me more money, I'm going to look again at my list and say, okay, I got another $5,000 in my bank account from this person. Where did that come from? And I'll look back a year ago and I'll say, oh, this person was a lead that I bought through X method. And over time, over a couple years, I'll be able to get very reliable data about where my income is coming from. You know, if I'm using Facebook ads, for example, and I'm getting customers through it today, and a year from now, a couple of those customers are paying me again, I'm going back and I'm calculating my profit from those original Facebook ads. That's how you do it. 99% of business owners out there, like small business owners who have to manage all this stuff themselves, they don't track this stuff. And I get it, you know. It's really common to hear like, oh, well, I only care about the leads that close. Totally understand that. Like personally from experience, I understand that. But as a marketer, especially if I'm handling your marketing, I need to know which leads close and which leads don't close. I need to, you know, we might be buying 100 leads a month, and if 50 of those, you know, if half of them are coming from one specific source and none of those ever turn into profit, then we just want to stop buying those. But a lot of times we don't get that feedback from our clients because they don't care. And they don't care as long as it's working. But trust me, when the day comes that their pocketbook is looking kind of tight, they're going to be frantically looking around trying to figure out what's going on, and it's going to be too late unless they have the data tracked somewhere. They're going to be sitting there wondering what the heck is working and what isn't. So the answer to getting over the fear is tracking everything so closely that you know exactly what's going on. If you look around and you spent $1,000 and you only made 500 back and you know exactly what happened every step of the way, you can make an educated decision on what to do next. And vice versa. If you're making a nice profit on it, you want to know where that profit's coming from. And you want to track it long term. There's a lot of business models out there where people will pay money to acquire customers and they won't even make any money on the first transaction. You know, imagine being a painter and paying $1,000 to acquire a customer and only making $1,000 from that project, and being okay with that because you know that in 6 months that person's going to have you back and you're going to make another $1,000, and then 6 months later another $1,000, and then over the next 5 years that customer is going to be worth $5,000–$10,000 for you, so it was worth spending $1,000 up front to get them. You got to think long term and you got to track this stuff. That's how you get over the fear. And until you actually do it, you're probably going to be apprehensive that maybe it won't work for you, as you should be. And there's always the possibility that whatever you try might not work for you. So your goal needs to be to track things closely and figure out as soon as possible, is this working or is this not working? And likely you're going to have to try multiple things before you find one or two things that works really well for you in regards to bringing in customers. So hopefully that answers that question. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith, but you have to track things closely. You have to know what to attribute the results that you're getting to. If you have questions, leave them in the comment. I love getting these questions, so if you have other ideas for what I can make videos about to help you, let me know in the comment section, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.